That's not going to be a problem.
I'm going to turn the TV down. I'm just going to do a video right now. Hey look, there's blue sky. I thought there was supposed to be a cyclone, Mum.
Blue sky and a few cars rolling through it. Out of the ordinary.
Amazing. Okay. Good afternoon. We'll just wait till we got a few folks on. Hey, who we got on here? See this couple there. How yous going, guys? Just about to do a little bit of work on this huge model ship. Around about 1/150 scale if you haven't been following during the hot weather. I think today we're having one of our hottest days on record. It is literally right now, I've got a weather station here. It is 36.6 degrees, feels like 40. Forecast max is 35 today, it's already 36.6. We don't usually see peak temperatures for another hour or two yet. So it's definitely going to go more than what's predicted, usually always does. But tomorrow's predicted to go even hotter. Oh my gosh. So you guys down south with this cooler weather you're having, man, enjoy it. So I'm inside in the aircon here. And I'm going to do a little bit of work on this, and I thought, well, I might get you to join me. There we go. So I've got the phone on a little bit of a tripod here. Got some paints here. Last night I painted most of the weaponry. There's not a lot, because the original, most of everything on the top, if you're wondering what this is a model of the World War II German battleship, the Bismarck. Most of what's on the top here is all grey, because obviously they don't want anything of great colour, you know, that really stands out and say, hello, I'm over here, hello. So it's not a Disney cruise ship, for example. So everything's mostly grey. Now there is a little bit of hint, a splash of colour. You know, you've got some little yellow little boys here that's, I don't know what they are, floaties that stuck on top of each other there. Painted them last night. The weaponry, well, most of the barrels are all black. And this one here, it's painted this up as well. So it's one of these weaponries is going to be stuck on here like so. It's going to be glued on there. These here, I glued that in place yesterday. These will need to be glued in place. These are like their radars as such. There's 3 on the ship. I'm deciding, looking at some images, doing some research, particularly last night. A lot of these are they're a lighter grey colour. So I may not paint that, I might leave that just the way it is, glue them in place, and then maybe do a little bit of weathering to it, just to age it a bit. But this one here, particularly this one here, before I glue this one down, so you know these are all 3D printed, so with these here, these are all printed with resin printer. And in fact, that's got a fair bit of weight in that. I might have to drill a hole there just in case there's some resin still in there, and drain that out, because you don't want fresh resin that's still in here. Resin is a dangerous material, but what it does give you is these really high detail Like, there's no way in the world with a filament printer that I would be able to print, you know, something like this, for example. I mean, look at the fine details on that and how small that is. So you need what they call a resin printer.
Very important for those joining us to be with the Queensland group.
I've actually got the resin printer
Check it while we're driving.
going. Hey Luke, how you going?
You've joined.
I've actually got the resin printer going now,
Click on the group, click join.
and
Questionnaires. Best thing
so we can go over there soon and have a look. I can show you
just say great photos,
what,
Jason.
why I got the resin printer going now is because
Do that questionnaire. Make sure that's complete.
these
AI should.
railings,
It doesn't. Just in case we're going to do it while we stopped. We do have
I'm not happy with these original railings.
well, but they also have a license.
Okay.
So,
So these are what one of the final parts that I will glue onto the Bismarck.
you're waiting.
So they go along there like so, okay? Doesn't that look awesome? Look at that. As you can see, very, very, yeah, just not strong enough. I want it a lot more substantial. So I'm redoing these ones and I'm making them a lot thicker. I did one, but it wasn't thick enough. I'm just 3D printing another one. It's going to finish in the next 5-10 minutes, and I'll take you over there and I'll show you when I remove it out of the resin what it looks like at that stage before it's cured. So and also you can see it's 3D printed the chain links there as well, which is an example here. So these are 3D printed as well, so I could actually 3D print a chain literally. So these are the chain anchors. Like I said, guys, there is nothing on this here, and I mentioned the other day, there is nothing on here that I've purchased. Every little part in here I've made, including the plane, the whole lot. So you can see how awesome these planes turned out. Here we got here. So, yeah, I've got one over on the other side that I've actually have started painting it. But what we might do today is glue this part in place first, because I think it's ready to go on, with some hanger bays where for these planes, because the Bismarck, some of you don't notice, probably wouldn't know, and I didn't know at the time, that it actually got 4 planes. They're float planes, and they get stored in the hangars. This is I only glued this in not long ago. This is a hanger, so I think you can store 2 in there. There's another one that goes here to store a single one, and there's another one on the other side to store a single one. So they've got four of these planes, and the wings fold back and then they wheel them back into the hangar. But obviously, looking at the Bismarck, it's not an aircraft carrier, so how do these take off? They've got a huge catapult on either side over here where they just shoot right off, and there's one over there that I need to decide what colour I'm going to paint it. Where is it? Still a lot of parts here. Here's one here. I don't know where the second one is. So these are the catapults. So the plane will sit on here, and then from here and they go boom, they shoot off. And I don't know if it shoots them off fast enough that they get airborne straight away, As you notice, it's got floats on here. And then when they land, how they land on here, they just land beside the plane. And then there's a big crane. They've got 2 cranes, one on either side. And this one here I started putting together a couple of days ago. There's still a lot of parts that need to go on here. I've got to put all the ropes, the pulleys, etc. on here and paint it up. But they get, I think it gets over here. So it's motorised, goes up and down. So they go down here to winch the plane up, turn it around and plonk it in there. How amazing is that, eh? Absolutely incredible. Now, so, but these ones here,
You mean the other place we had, I'm just trying to find it. Right now.
because there's going to be some wires, quite a fair bit of wiring lines that's going to be connected distant from that mast to this one here. That's again, it's a little bit too flexy for me liking. So I'm going to cut it off down here and get some brass piping and replace them with brass pipes of different various thicknesses so it's more solid, and then just paint them the grey colour. Actually, I've got a perfect grey that'll go perfect with this for those, and add in a spray can. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll just thought of that now. That'd be perfect. So I might have to do the same with these, but they've got quite intricate, quite a fair bit of detail in them. So what I might have to do is just get something underneath there just to brace it and glue on there and connect all the wires onto it. See how I go. Where'd I put that? Just want to put that somewhere here just to dry. That's going to sit over here and it's going to be around about that height. Okay. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to need to make some room. Let's get some of these weaponries and move these out of the way so we can start doing some gluing. But I have a feeling I think that resin printer might just about be finished, and see what that sample looks like. And if that sample paling looked good, then I'm going to print off about 15 of them. Oh, I'm probably going to need more than 15. This thing's nearly 2 metres, well, it's 2 metres long. So practically going to need almost 4 metres of palings, and I think each one's about 12 centimetres long. So, can someone work out how many I'll need?
Well, we need a name for this. What do we call it? Scaffold alley?
There we go. Can you guys hear the TV? It's not distracting, is it? Do I need to turn it down more, or is it okay? My mum's watching the TV. I've got one of the, as you know, at time of filming this, there's a cyclone barrowing down the coast, off the coast here, but it's totally bypassed us. There's no breeze at all outside, there's nothing. It's just a stinking hot day. Absolutely ridiculous how hot it is. Gosh, it's an amazing amount of firepower this thing has got, eh? So, there's some spotlights where they need to glue in place there, so I need to figure out how I'm going to paint those ones. And there's some weaponry over here. They contrast really well. Look how great the weaponry looks against that colour. I reckon it looks pretty cool. So, now, let me get these out of the way because I'm going to need as much room as possible. Now, let's see. So, there's 3 parts and these are some of the major parts on top of the deck. of these ones here. So these are the other, as you can see. How many we got watching? We got 10. Awesome. Okay, see one's got the door shut and the other one's got the door open, so I only need 3 planes on here. I'll only be able to fit 3. So this one goes on this side, this one goes on this side. Let me make some room. Let's move this plane. This is the other one that I started painting. You see there? So that still needs more details to be painted on there. Now this one can be a bit tricky because it's a perfect fit. There's not a lot of room on here. You'll notice how these are shaped. See how they're concaved on here? And they're the same over here. So they match up perfectly like so. But somehow this one's perfectly fine, but for some reason when I printed these ones, they're just bowed out a little bit on the ends here. But they do have some movement where you can move it. Now the glue I use, I like to use this Loctite super glue. It's absolutely awesome. How many hours, I don't know. I couldn't tell you how many hours I spent on this. It's a long, long, long time. Long time. Yeah. I probably started it about 4 weeks ago. I totally forgot. Got the washing machine on. I might have to go shortly. Well, I'm going to have to go and hang some clothes up. Right. Try to squeeze these in place. Hopefully not breaking anything. Okay. That works. It fits. Maybe I'll bring the camera up a bit closer. Is that better? It's better, eh? So that fits in perfectly there. And then how that works is got your one of these planes with the wings folded. So he's going to sit halfway in. He'll have to sit like that because, ironically, for some reason, I don't know why, that plane seems to be a lot bigger than that doorway, which shouldn't be the case. So I don't know what's happening there. So I'll have that one something like that. Or have him over here. That might be best. Have him like that. So it's about part of the way out there. And then just have the 3 planes on here. Well, I did say I was only going to put 3 on, so there you go. There's one here on the catapult about to take off, and another one on the other side here as well. You can sit there. And that should look good once that's painted up. What do you reckon? That will look pretty good, eh? Can I zoom in on these? I can zoom in. Didn't know that. There we go. So you can see in more detail. So how cool would that look? So that's kind of how that is going to look. Now,
908.
before we go any further, one thing with resin printing, when you finish printing, when it's finished printing, it hangs upside down and it's not cured, and you've got to get it out. If you don't, then it can collapse on you. So we'll have to go in this room here, my hobby room, and yes, it's finished. So, see if I can find somewhere I can put yous. Is that good? Now, resin. Like I said, dangerous chemicals. Got to use gloves, not any normal gloves. These are the gloves that they use in hospitals. So they're, what do they call? What sort of type of glove are they? Nitrile? Nitrile. You can buy them at, of all places that sells them. I found them in boxes of 100, and they have them in the extra large size that fits my hands. Repco. Your local Repco. Right, so this is finished. So there it is there. Now I'm just going to remove that. I'll put this back here, ready to print again the next lot. Now, a lot of resin, you got to, yeah, no, that's no good. I'm having trouble with the, for a start, that needs to be further apart. That's too short. I'm not having any luck here. I don't know what I'm going to do about this. See how the lengths of chain for the fencing, the railings, are too thin. They're breaking. They're snapping. But this particular resin is a water washable resin. Most of the resin you get, you've got to use the isopropyl alcohol to clean them. But with this one, you wash in water. So what I need to do now is I need to take this to the sink. And I've got dangerous chemicals on my hands here, guys, so I can't. I'm going to have to leave you for a couple of minutes while I go and rinse this out. And then I'll come back as quick as I can. So while you're there, just gonna have a gander at my resin printer. Check it out. And there it is there. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes because I have to wash this in water. So I'm back. So all that resin is all gone now. Except this is still not safe. This needs to be cured. So basically it needs to be nuked. It's got to be cured, because even at this state it's not safe. It's got to be cured at a 405 UV lights for approximately something this size, probably 5 minutes. So I've got this machine right here that's got UV light in it, and I put it in there and I turn it on, and it just basically nukes it for like whatever time I want. It's just a special UV light, and the UV light cures it and makes it hard. But I don't think I'll do that with that. I'll probably just go in the bin. I won't waste my time with that. So that's not a success. I don't think I'm going to get those rail palings to work. Those chain links on there are way too thin. Unless if I can find a way to make them a lot thicker. Just select the... I'm going to give that a miss today. I'm going to have to do a little bit more experimenting in the CAD software and see if I can import that somehow into my CAD software again, and just select the chain and yeah, it's a shame. I thought that would have worked. I think I've just wasted my time. So I'm going to turn this off, come back to it another day. I've got plenty of time. Turn the AC off here. Yeah. I'll leave that run a bit longer because that's charging the battery. Okay. Let me go turn. You'll see the software here. I'll show you software here. So this is one of the programs I use. It's one of the programs I use. So you can see the supports on there. So you need supports. Now if there's some way, see all the chain links? The problem is these chains are way too fine. I got an idea something may work is cutting those chain links out. I'd redesign, make my own fencing, cut those chain links out, and go get some of the proper chain links, fairly like jewellery ones from Officeworks, and glue that in place. There you go, in Tambo's Adventures. So I reckon that will work. So I got plenty of time for that. So as you can see, there's still a lot of work to do. Would you like to save it? No. Oh, hang on. I have to go yes if I want to close this. There we go. Okay. Holy shit, it's hot. Okay. I'm going to make Buck and is Buck, are you on here? Burko. Who's Burko? Fine and hot. There's Buck. Add as moderator. I've got no moderator on here. Made you a moderator, Buck, if you don't mind. Don't worry, guys, I'm not just putting this straight on to Buck. I contacted him earlier today, told him I'm thinking about going online. I got two moderators, Rob and Terry, and they're both busy this afternoon. So I asked Buck, can you be a moderator if I go on live this afternoon? And I just read his message, yeah. So you go, Buck, I got you on there. Testing, 1, 2, 3. So you can keep an eye on the chat, because obviously I can't read the chats much here. I'm pretty busy making stuff here. So, all right, let me just turn my computer off. So I got to go back to the drawing board. I cannot tell you how many attempts I have done in making those palings, guys. I cannot tell you how many. I've printed so many of them, and I thought I was almost getting there. But I think I'm just expecting too much out of that resin printer. So, right, let's go back to this.
Wait for the next wave system to pull back out. Grab 2 more shots. Pop out from there. Patience, people.
How's that? Awesome.
Don't rush it.
All right,
Take your time.
that should look pretty good. Let me just go wash my hands. And wow, just saw some footage of Gold Coast. Geez, a lot of the beach is washed away. I'll let you guys chat amongst yourselves, because I've got some washing I've got to quickly hang up. And have a look,
Secondary wave behind
check
you.
this out, and I'll be back. Give me a few minutes, shouldn't take me too long.
Okay. That's the one right down the barrel. You already see the seafoam in that. Okay, that's a bigger wave. Okay, we're done. Done, sir. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, ready. Oh, yeah. Got it, quickly. It'll be done. Sand and cameras just don't mix. Sand and cameras do not mix. I put this under attack yesterday. That's it. Thanks, buddy. Good work. watch the edge. It's got a that one's got a bit of a curve on it. Depending where you are.
Oh boy, it's like a sauna out there. Let me turn the TV volume down. I've got a live feed going on the TV. One of those storm chasers from the States flew over here and getting in and amongst all the action. He's at Gold Coast and he's walking along the beach now showing all the erosion. There's not a lot of wind at the moment, which is surprising. It's a lot of people on the beach walking. We should see all the erosion. Okay, now I might just get a bit of glue. Just run some glue on the edges here to glue this in place.
Don't worry about these little bits.
I don't know, I'm just thinking what's the best way to do this. I'd like, the problem with this glue, it sets too fast. It won't give me enough time to glue this in place. Let me take this out.
Oh god, this is going to go mad.
If I can mark where that is, glue this piece in place first.
I wouldn't do that.
Mark that exactly where that's going to be glued in place. Because I want, I don't know, there's kids there playing on the beaches there, and the authorities are telling people to stay off the beach.
Scary watching that.
Okay. Right, I want to get a good amount of glue on here because it's quite a big piece, this one here. I don't want to just glue on the edge. I want to glue it along the back here as well. So get a good connection. Good glue. I've got to make sure I get it exactly in place. So you do need to have quite a steady hand when you're working on something like this. Okay, now push that down, hold that in place for a bit.
Look at this one.
So it only takes a few seconds for this to grab on. Not cheap though, like 22 bucks. And you probably go through 3 of these. This is the second one. Although it's probably going to be enough. These 2 will probably do.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I'm staying a fair distance from that. See this here.
Now this
Yeah.
here.
See the cracks right here. Right here. I'm a good, yeah, long distance thing, we're still going to get more space. This is high.
This one's a bit tricky. But it will force in place. Got to be real careful that I don't push it to the extent where it'll snap, but no problems if it does. I'll just 3D print another one. Oops. You see I just broke a little bit of the railing on the top there that I've got to glue back down. There it is. Not happy with that one. Got to do a little bit of trimming here. Let's go and grab a tool. So this is a one-off. Normally don't get anything like this happen. Hopefully this will not break. Perfect. There's a little bit of detail here. That needs to be removed. I don't know why it's even there because you can't see it. It's hidden behind. Bingo. Alright. This needs to go down a bit in the other end. I've got to be really careful because I can't put too much force on these here because what they are is for the lifeboats. A lot of lifeboats on these, so once these are painted up, get one sit there like that, and another one back here, another one there. So it's 3 there, 3 on the other side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 lifeboats. Not that they were much use during the final battle.
Okay.
So I'm just going to have to glue that in place like so, but I'm not happy how that, I'm still not happy how that's sitting. You know, it looks straight. As long as it looks straight, I think it's the main thing. I'm not happy on this side here. It needs to go down lower. That'll work. Bingo. I've got it in place now. So might need a lot to hold this in place. Okay, that's how I want it. I want it to go back a bit further if I can.
Okay, excellent.
Which is
Okay.
probably a little bit too late right now, but that's close enough. Now that's sitting perfect now, so I'll just hold that until that glue sets. Normally it's not as finicky as this. Normally the parts just fit perfectly, but For some reason that piece is just bowed a little bit. Luckily they do have a little bit of a give on them before they break. So they're quite strong. The actual these 3D pieces. These parts are very strong actually. Particularly for their weight, size and weight. Although this has quite a fair bit of weight in this.
Rough. No.
So alright, I'm quite happy with that. It's getting a little bit of paper and just clean up some excess glue. It's probably already dried, but it does dry clear. Just let me go get some paper. It does dry clear, but with the perfect light angle, you can see a reflection where the glue has been if you had got too much. So that's good. Right, the other side should be a lot easier because that one's not out of shape. Yeah, there's no point you seeing that side. Moving the camera over to see that. That one's perfect.
Come on.
In place. So again, I'm going to put a fair bit more glue on this one. On the sides, the back, the bottom. So she's not going to move in a hurry, that's for sure. Especially with all this glue. That just went so easy. I might have been out just a tad. I probably could have gone this way a little bit. There's no way that one's going to move. Okay, she's solid. Now, I'm just going to put a tab of glue just on that joint there because I just snapped it a little bit there. And it doesn't worry me if that happens because I tell you what, where I put the glue on, it makes it a lot stronger than originally was. Because she's set solid, this thing. It's like an epoxy. So that's good. Okay. There's a little bit of a gap over here underneath there that I'm not really all that happy with, but by the time I got the planes and everything in here, it's alright, I'm not going to notice it. So whatever reason, when they cured slightly out of shape. And they're practically the only pieces that have. So, okay. Now there's a light and these big searchlights. There's comment there. I'll check the comments out soon. So again, that's resin printed. I'll show you a part that goes over here, but I've got to decide I'm going to paint that. Let me go grab one part on it. So what I've got to show you here, hang on. That's one of the sections of the hole that's printed with the filament printed. Okay, so that's plastic, that's for resin, all the small detail part, the resin 3D printer, that's in a liquid form in a bath, like a bath underneath, and it's clear, the clear plastic film underneath, and then it's got glass under that, and below that's got an LED light. So when you send a file to a resin printer, what it does, the LED light just shines on that part, that shape, like a 2D. Imagine you're looking at a 2D image. Okay, so for example, you've got a shape like this plane, and you look at it and it's a 2D image. So the LED light will shine on the build plate just the shape of this plane. Alright, and then it'll shines for the resin I'm using, it'll shine for 3.2 seconds. And then the light will turn off. And then after a second or so, it then shines another 3.2 seconds. And each layer is around about 0.1 of a mil thick, each layer. That each time it does that, I think it's 0.1 of a mil. I think it could even be 0.05 of a mil. Hence, so you can imagine like this here, that one I showed you before, it's about 2 mils thick. That 2 mils, well, it's shaped like this, okay, it's not so flat, but shaped like that. But let's say, for example, that's about, well, you work it out, 0.1, so divide 0.1 into 10 mils, and that's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 0.05, so it's 20 layers. Then the one I printed back there's 288 layers. So it's 288 lines. I hope you understand that. I can't explain it any simpler. And that UV light cures it, hits that resin, and then that resin sticks to the other resin that's already, and then eventually, so it prints upside down, so the build layer goes down, and then it prints up like that. But my resin printer's got a unique feature where the whole thing, the actual tray itself, goes up and down, like so. And it's very fast. It actually prints very quickly. Like this section here, see how big that is? All of that, it printed that in about 5 hours. It printed these in probably about 2 hours. These planes, it printed them in about an hour or so it all depends how thick it is. But the thing is, the build plate, you can print like 10, 15 items at it at a time, and because it just doesn't take any extra time, so instead you print one part, that'll take 2 hours, you know, for example, for one plane, but then I print all 4 planes and a couple of spares, about 6, and then they'll only take 2 hours. So same as all these weaponries, you know, these might take 45 minutes to print, but I fit about 20 on the build plate. In 45 minutes, I've got about 20 of these straight away. So that's how the resin printer works. But because The lines are so minute, so fine. It's perfect details. You see no lines. So it's ultra smooth, and the details that come out, it's just amazing. As you can see, printed this all in one part. So that's not parts where glued together. It's come out, including the props, out of the resin, just like that. So absolutely fascinating. They're not easy to use. Like, look at the details on these, you know. Look at the details on these tugboats. All printed in one piece. See? There's different sizes. One's for an admiral, one's for captain. Although these ones look similar, but see? You could never make anything like this if you don't have a resin printer, guys. And they're not expensive. But it's a huge learning curve. I started out with a resin printer and went to the filament printer. And when I bought the filament printer, oh my gosh, I thought I was in heaven. It's much easier. It is. So this is what's printed on the filament printer. Quite a big piece, quite substantial, very, very strong. Okay, very strong.
Yeah.
And also, you see, made braces, all right, like so. And they bolt together, so each section is glued and bolted together. You can see, this is the section that goes right up the front. They glued in, and got bolt holes. So that's how connected. So there's 8 parts. This is about, I could probably go slightly bigger than this. I can go 30 by 30 by 30 centimetre on the filament printer, so it's a lot bigger than your standard ones. If I had a standard printer, I wouldn't be able to, well, I probably could. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to print one this size. Now, if I had a bigger printer, filament printer, I would have printed even bigger than this. So that's, and how these work is, it just prints. Just sits in there like so. And you've got the filament. It's 1.75 mil thick, goes through the head. The head melts it at this particular filament at 220 degrees Celsius, so it melts it. And then it just prints, just goes around in circles and just prints it. And you can get different coloured filaments, like this is a grey. I could have got away and just used this grey, but you got join lines, etc. You can see join lines here. See there, some of these ones that are really obvious, these aren't too bad. Some are really obvious. That one's probably more obvious. I'm just going to put a ladder down there, glue a ladder onto there so it lines up with that seam line. So yeah, so that's how I'm going to hide some of those ones that are more obvious. So I'll go put this back, so I've got my chair back. But then with the filament printer, you can print stuff like this. So it's so I printed this, not the filament printer, sorry. the resin printer, because this is so small, you can see the intricate, all the details in this here. In fact, this one hasn't got a lot of detail compared to some of the others I've got.
Back to what I'm doing.
But this is for a N-scale model railway
Fatigue management, all of
layout.
Sort of remember, don't forget
What you see here.
breaks, ice cooking, food, and your long
So eventually what I'm going to do, I'm going to design some buildings and paint them up and sell them.
you walk around. It's very easy to get where you
So-
are at the moment, as they say.
Yeah.
You get to stretch your legs, take breaks. Or as well as psychological, some of you may have, or many of you may have friends standing up here that are concerned, seeing the impacts of what's happening. It's okay to switch off. But funny enough, everyone's going to say, stay tuned, don't subscribe.
In saying that,
It's okay to switch off and take
if you print the items big enough, like this is the most popular scale in model railway, HO scale, this is printed on that filament printer, and I've painted it myself, obviously.
What's going to keep you going
So you can see
here?
the good details on there, look at that. Because it's large enough, got no problems with printing at that quality. And I got the same one that was printed with the filament printer, and you can see, not bad, but it does lack some details, particularly those here. I wasn't able to print those. So still quite a good job, but if I printed that in resin, it would have these details here. So I'll be mainly concentrating on making buildings like this and selling these to you guys out there in HO land.
I've got a preset.
So,
Preset on this one. I've got a wave preset.
oh yeah, Terry's got one there. Yeah, I have to thank Terry for this.
Too much. Scary, but too much. Just a bit, give it a bit of punch. Bit of punch. Shadows on the bottom levels. Whites on the tops. Exposure down and highlights. Just pulling back the clouds a bit. Makes sense? No colour added.
So here's a very small one done in a resin N scale. You can see the details, and that's what you can do with the resin.
Go back to the camera. Just wait to start coming a bit. Funny, it looks the camera across just as you said it. What does Bob say?
And right down to these little characters. I 3D printed these in resin and painted these.
Say hi,
Who does that look like? Notice the jacket. It wasn't supposed to look like him, but it just came out that way. So eventually, the little fella, he can sit there like so. And I've got Sailor Dude that I've started making for the Bismarck. That will go on the Bismarck. You see how small they are. Again, they'll sit over here somewhere. you've got to have a very good steady hand to paint those ones, guys. So I might start do a little bit of painting here shortly. You've got to have a very steady hand to do that one. My eyesight's obviously not good enough, so I've got these, got them on Amazon. I bought these special glasses with the lights on them. They weren't really dear, and it's got like a little LED light on it that lights up, and it's got all these different lenses right up to 3.5 times or 5.5 times magnifications. So I choose one that's about 2.5, so it's, instead of being, what's that, 13 mils long, it looks like it's about an inch high. So it makes it, and then a very fine tip. I don't even have it here right now. In fact, I've got to get some. Actually, I do. Very fine tip paintbrush. I just use the cheap brushes for something like this. $2 store or whatever you go to. I think these were at Bunnings.
That's a good start. That's a good start.
You want really fine tip brushes to paint those sort of details in a steady hand.
That's still the surge coming up.
So,
At the base level.
okay. Guys, I seriously need to get have a try. I've got a very old iPad here. The battery's buggered on it, but if I leave it charged to 240 and mount that on here and do that, so I can't read the comments, guys. I see them come up, but they're too blurry. I need something where I can see the comments. Okay, I need to do some more studying to make sure. I could glue some of these weaponries in place. There's one there, but it's just sitting there. But I can't recall exactly where they go, so I need to go through some plans and make sure these are in the right spot. But I know 100% this goes over here. And these searchlights. What would be cool is to cut that section out in the middle there and add an LED light with reflection around it, and then like a semi-transparent clear glass on the front, which you can do for a resin printer. You can get the glass filaments, the plastic clear filaments, to make your windscreens and stuff like that. That would be cool. But honestly, guys, I've got some high gloss silver paint here, which is a artist's quality Joe Sonya's silver, and when you give it a mix, and when you, here's some here that's already set. I don't know how reflective it is here, but there's some there that's dry. See that silver? See, it reflects the light. So it's kind of, and then I could probably spray a little bit of gloss, or put a gloss. Actually, I've got some Mod Pod very high glossy glue that dries really glossy. A coating of that over the top. So, still be cool to put an LED in it though, wouldn't it? Real bright one. How awesome would that look? No, that's too much work. Would be awesome to add some LED lights on here, but to be fair, this is not a Disneyland cruise liner. That's lit up like a Christmas tree. So let's grab this little fella here. Let's see if I can get closer. This wouldn't be hard to paint. It's not that small. I don't need any special glasses. Can I zoom in? Yeah, it's cool. I didn't realise you could actually zoom in. What are you eating, Mum? Oh. There you go. It's not really reflective there, but once it dries, hang on. When it dries, it'll be a lot more reflective. Can you see? Very careful. Notice how I brace the work with my finger. It's not totally freehand. You need to brace, get something. So I'm bracing with a little pinky finger, and I've got perfect control there. There you go. Yeah. May do 2 coats on that. As that dries, you start to see it's getting more reflective as it's drying. So how effective is that? Isn't that awesome? You see the reflection. It's pretty dark here too, guys. It's starting to get really dark outside. Don't know why. It's only 2 o'clock. So I put them there. I think there's about 4 of those that needs to be painted. Let's search for the other 3. Oh, actually they're right in front of me. Before this brush starts to dry out. One advantage of building these battleships, because they're not in a lot of colours. This one's got quite a fair bit of colour. Oops. Got a bit. Hang on. There we go. Are we still on? I think I need 4. Oops, still can't see. I think I need 4 of these, but I might just paint about 6 just in case if there's any more that I do need. Because remember, I've already made a 1/200 scale of the Bismarck.
Here we go. And right on.
Okay, let's see, other ones. There it is. Always print a couple extra. But these ones come out really good when I printed these. They came out perfectly. Again, these are all one pieces. So they do print with supports. They do have supports on them, which after you printed them, you've got to very carefully remove the supports without breaking. And some can be quite difficult. Most of them are quite easy. So that's the 4 that I need. But we'll do some extra since I have got them. The beauty of having some extras on each of these parts is that if anything ever falls off at one stage or breaks, I've already got some at hand to replace them with. Or if I don't have them, I could just go and print them. All the files are saved on the PC. What are you doing, Mum? What's that noise?
Connected the stove.
With what? Hang on, I'll be back shortly. I'm just making sure she's not using steel wool. Oh, no, 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 no.
We did this in the top.
No, 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 no.
That doesn't what
No, 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 it's okay. Don't use steel wool on that. That's stainless steel. No, 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 no.
Where can we just?
It's alright, leave it. You want? That scratches it, Mum. You destroy that stove. Okay, I printed quite a few of these extras. I got to decide how I'm going to. Will I just leave them all grey, the rest of it, or add a little bit of highlight colour somewhere? I'd like to add some sort of colour. I don't know what you think. It just looks a little bit. Is it going to focus? This looks a little bit plain. Maybe, I don't mind this stain, that colour. Maybe this arm's certainly not a bright colour or anything. But then I can't go too dark a colour because it's got a dark background. And then I'd also don't want to paint it too bright. Then it'll stand out like a sore thumb. And this is a model warship. So it's trying to be hidden in the ocean. Oh shit, everything's falling down. It's trying to be hidden in the ocean. Hey Buck, if you're still on there, even though you're a moderator, don't feel like you have to sit there if you're getting a bit bored, you want to do something else. I don't expect you to sit there during this whole live feed. If you want to go, just go. If you want to stay, stay. One more. Tell you what, anyone tries to sneak up, all good, too hot outside. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, don't think I should have mentioned that before. Don't think you got to sit there the whole time. Yeah, gosh, isn't it hot, alright? It's just crazy how hot it is outside. Okay, is that all of them? I'll go clean this brush out before it dries.
That's a public room moderation. Can't do anything. I'm helping with that. Other people. Really weird patron stream, so if you want to join that, people want.
All right. Okay. What are we going to do with this arm? Let's go one of these. This might have dried a bit more. See how much shiny that is? As it's dried. It's cool, eh? And if I get some Mod Podge gloss on that, oh, magic. So what are we going to paint this? I don't know. Oops. What are we going to do? How does it look if I just sit that there? I don't mind that it's actually the light colour grey. Because you can actually see it. What colours have I got sitting in front of me right now? Got a silver, I've got an aluminium. I wonder if I could do a splash alloy. Don't know. Oops, can't even see it. What are colours have I got here? Yellow, nut. Wooden deck. Oh, I've got heaps more colours out there. Light brown. Light brown is similar colour to the deck. Let's have a shot light brown. What I like to do when I think I've seen a colour that I like, is I paint that colour on there and then see what it looks like. Because it's very easy to paint a different colour over the top if you don't like it. Because I recall I did some studying on this last night, these ones. And if I recall, a lot of people are painting them with just this arm at a different colour. Oh, can you see there? Yeah, I reckon that'll look good. I think I like that. I think we only need to, oh, I've got to try and remember to keep it up high. I think we only need to just paint these highlights. There. 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 What do you think? Think I'm happy with that? Don't know. Unless you guys King stainless steel fold up fire pit. Don't know, I've never owned one. The stainless steel, is it similar to a lot of the others out there? You can see that colour is just pops out. Do you like that? Or should I paint it more? Remember on the ship they're mostly just all grey. So let's put this in place and see what it looks like. And sometimes I'm still not sure, I'll leave it and then come back to it later and have a look. But I think that'll be, I think that'll be fine. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, cool. Someone said it looks good. Yeah, I'm pretty fussy too. Oh, you've got a pretty good colour with eyes for colours. Usually. The fire pits. I think your budget ones are good. Yeah. The stainless steel is not as good quality as your Snow Peak ones. The Snow Peak ones are just absolutely ridiculous, their prices. A lot of you are lucky enough to actually own the Snow Peak one. Let's see if I can get you a bit closer. A lot of you are lucky to own the Snow Peak ones. And you bought them when they were, well, I'm going to say when they were at a reasonable price, but they never have been at a reasonable price really, have they? They're by far the best ones there. And they're pretty much going to be a hand down for your grandkids. I don't think you'll rust them. They got secret technology where they add something to the stainless steel that just makes it a lot better. And it's all made in a factory in Japan. But I've got one of those Chinese copy fire pits with the cheap stainless steel that was given to me a long time ago. And it gets used a lot. It's permanently, I'm looking at it now, it's permanently set up at the back of the house all the time, so it hits all the environment, everything. Been sitting there for probably 3-4 years. There's nothing wrong with it, guys. There's not a speck of rust on it, but I do clean it after I use it. And I think all those cheap ones, honestly, I think they all come from the same factory. Whatever brand you buy, I think they're all the same, guys. So, unless you're a filthy rich man, you got that much money, you don't know what to do with it, just go buy one of those cheap ones. Do you agree, Buck? We're lucky here in Bundaberg. Poor Terry's so pissed off about this one. He thought he was getting this. Yeah, you agree, yep. Totally, man. Save your money, guys. There's nothing wrong with those King's fire pits. As far as I'm concerned, stainless steel is stainless steel, guys. just look after it. Clean it after use, and that thing's going to last you a very, very long time. And the biggest tip I could probably give to you is probably sorry, can't see, can you? Probably one advantage, another advantage with the Snow Peak ones is they don't suffer from this problem as much. Don't overcook them. Don't have too big of a fire on them. Don't get too hot, because otherwise they can buckle. But usually when they cool down, they'll go back into shape. But if you've got a big enough fire on it, absolutely ridiculous heat on it, you are going to buckle them. Whereas the Snow Peak ones, a little bit more susceptible against that happening. So don't have a raging inferno on it. You can see it takes a while to paint all these little pieces. But mate, this thing I've got out the back here, the Chinese copy, it's been sitting there in my backyard out in the environment there for the last 3 years. There's no rust on it. Yeah, guys, you younger generation, you're very lucky the options you got today. When I was many of you guys' age, many years ago, we didn't have much choice in camping gear. So it was not uncommon to take 2-3 hours to set up camp. And if you had set up camp within an hour, that's very fast. Because we used to have monstrosity of tents, canvas tents with whopping big poles. I remember. And then when tents came out, tents, oh my gosh. And the early tents I'd buy, you go buy a tent, and you go to Fraser Island, it'll rain that night, and the water's literally, you might as well just sleep out and outside. It makes no difference. They were the tents in the early days. Is that TV on, Mum?
Mm-hmm.
Is the TV on? Or has it stopped? Is there anything on TV, Mum?
Nothing on the TV.
Really? What happened?
Nothing.
Did it switch off? Did you turn it off?
No.
Did the TV switch off?
No, not switch off.
Well, how come there's nothing on the TV? I didn't turn it off.
No, man.
Let me go just check what's going on. Maybe the dude is streaming. He's on a phone call and he's not wanting anyone to hear what he's saying. He did that yesterday. Yeah, he is. Yep. He turns the sound off. I'll get a bit more. I don't mind, it's peace and quiet. What's the temperature outside? 34.1, feels like 38. Not as hot as I thought it was going to be. So you guys are really spoilt today for the options. And I tell you what, if it wasn't all these options we have today, I wouldn't be able to camp. Because I can't do what I used to do in the younger days. Spend half hour to an hour putting up a tent that weighs 30, 40 kilos. So as you get older, and your body wears out, you've got to change the way you do things, including camping. So you try different camp setups and progress through what I call the wheel of life. So life's like a wheel. W-H-E-E-L. So you start off in a pram, you go to push bikes, you might go to a motorbike, then you might go to a car, then a four-wheel drive, and then a camper trailer on the back of a four-wheel drive, then a caravan, and the wheel after that is normally the wheelchair. Hence the wheel of life.
No one arrange for the wheelchair first, if you get to.
Yeah, my mum is at the wheelchair. We are trying to get a wheelchair for her. So, I reckon I've still got a bit of way to go. Bit worried about you, Buck. You're a good caravan. Your next set of wheels is a wheelchair after that one, mate. You're progressing quicker than I am. I'm still at the campus trailer stage. I hope he's still on and hearing this. Just freaking funny.
Didn't I, Lisa, give it to me the phone?
Lisa's in the middle of the cyclone.
And let me see how she.
No, we'll call it tomorrow after the cyclones hit them.
We'll call it now.
Nah, I can't, I'm on the phone. Is that it? Right, I go clean me brush. Now, in saying that, my wheel of life theory has really been put to the test of late. Let me move the angle of the camera now. That was the chair. Wow, she's starting to look good.
It's very strange audio's not coming through the microwave.
So, the wheel of life theory is starting to be tested here. Because some of you guys are in your early years and gone straight to a caravan. So you're reversing the action. You're reversing how it's supposed to work. So, when you're thinking of it that way, Buck, we've still got a bit of time left. Because you can always reverse it. I got no intention of ever doing that. No way I'm going back to rooftop tents and tents. Right, shall we glue this little fella in place, eh? Oh shit! Quick, before it sets. Freaking fool. Hold it in place until it sets. Does that look alright? If it looks good. Is that glued in place? Yep, that's it. Got no idea where the other ones go. It's funny. I better put this back on here. Ah! Well, that might be it. I need to do some, I suppose the next part, I need to study some images on this bridge here, which goes, is it in frame? Which goes over here, somewhere like so, glues on there, and then this, then and then this goes here, like that. Well, like I said, I need to somehow reinforce this, make it stronger, because there is a fair bit of rigging that's got to be connected to that, and this one here, it's a lot easier to paint this than glue it. I think it's mostly the flooring that needs to be painted at this. That goes there. Now there's also these other, you see all these here. These hang on, Mum left the door open. Well, that cold air will escape. You got these different weaponries these guns, which I need to add a little bit of paint here. Oh, by the way, these, they do move up and down, these. They are adjustable, the height, as you can see. So you got these weaponry switch. I won't glue these in place, they'll just sit in place like that. That way then I can just turn them around like so. Like so. And then you've also got these ones, which is the next size down. Now, the problem with these ones, get 3D printed, absolutely awesome detail, but I don't like the barrels. The barrels are too thin. And because they're so thin, see how they're angled up? So I tried something over here, is I've cut those thin pieces off, and I'm going to get some brass tubing the same length, glue on the end here, and then paint them the dark grey, and that will stop that problem. That'll strengthen them up and they'll look better. And these ones are not going to be glued in place. These ones, I'll get one of these chopsticks. Got two different thicknesses of chopsticks here. So go through the bottom, glue that in place, cut it to length, and then they'll just go and boop, straight in there. They'll sit in there like so. That way if one breaks or whatever, and I can easily grab them and turn them around. One breaks. And I also got these. I don't know what these are, but there's a few of these that goes on the ship. Got no idea what these are. Getting 3D printed, all in one part. Anyone know what they are? What they're for? What else is there? There's also a couple of these here, which will, I think, these here, and they sit on the somewhere down here. You move some of these out the way. They go there. And what they are, normally I believe it's the main admiral boat, one of the first ones quick access to, that they remove if they need to get the admiral off real quick, and that sits on there. And of course, because you've got the winch over here, then that, in theory, well, it doesn't reach. So it's telling me probably needs to go over here. I don't know. Or there, who knows? Could even be, no, it could be back here actually. I don't know if it goes on the front. I'll have to have a look at the other one that I built and study some more of the drawings and that. So today, this afternoon, I finished painting these smaller weaponry and lights. Let's go get some Mod Podge glue and cover these up and see what it looks like. Now, hopefully I've got enough Mod Podge glue. I'm trusting that I've got enough.
That's the current situation just there.
Oh, can you? Oh my gosh, you can almost see the German emblem. Not cheap, this glue. I've got a fair bit of it. I've got matte as well. This is the gloss. But this is very good for creating water scenes. Water, because such thick glue.
You said Friday, come and let the father. No, come on Friday.
Terry?
Yeah,
Yeah, Terry's coming on Friday.
today Friday.
Yeah, I know today's Friday, but not this Friday, another Friday.
Another Friday.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, right, Terry, you listening? And little Molly, can't wait. Oh, Molly, especially if you bring your van. Man, how happy will Molly be when you take her, because she'll think she's still camping even though you're in the yard here. She'll still think she's camping. Terry, if you're watching. I've never tried this Mod Podge glue before. Oh, yucky. Hopefully it doesn't stuff up the brushes. Alright, let's put a little bit of Mod Podge on here. So it's very, very white. I've got that many of these that I only need 4. I can try some experimentation, and let's wait till that dries and see. I've got no idea how long this takes to dry. Let me show you. It is that one. Oh. It is that one. You tell me if that starts to look more glossy or not as it dries. Okay, clean this brush before it dries. Because this is a good brush. How does it look, guys? Obviously, as it dries more, it'll become more shinier. Does it look more shiny? Sweet. awesome. Let me grab something. This is for Winnie. Winnie. Cheerio. Winnie, do you want a Cheerio? Someone out there will know exactly what I'm on about. There's someone out there called Winnie that thanks Luke, that absolutely goes crazy for these. Do you want a Cheerio? Their master should be home by now. Lucky, this camera's not too high. There's something there that probably shouldn't be on YouTube, although there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube showing that insignia. Because for artistic purposes, it's totally legal to use that on artistic purposes or school environments or books and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I think I would class this as an artistic project. Guys, you know, it's the funny thing is, right, you're looking at that, right? Look at that, okay? It's impossible to fit it all in, it's 2 meters long. But look how much stuff is on there, weaponry. I still got this box here. Here, 3 boxes here. Cup. Those weird things, I've got no idea what they are. Bushes, pulleys. This is all the little stuff for the crane. It's going to be fun putting that together. Got hoses on reels here. I've got no idea what these are. I think they're like a little water tank, whatever, something tank. Which goes at random on places on the deck. I'll find out what they are. So they sure do jam-pack a lot of stuff on these boats. And it's nearly all firepower. Which is probably understandable, given the circumstances what they're used for. This one here. Before I go, I mentioned before about these supports. I mentioned supports with this is what I'm talking about, supports. Okay, so this is 3D printed. And they come out like this, so they printed like that, so they're upside down. So obviously, you can't print something that's floating in the air, so it uses supports. And then you got to carefully, either with the snippets, go through, cut these off bit by bit. Or, a new method I learned about is go buy these little miniature like hairdryer hot blowers. They're 300 watts, and you blow it on these, and you got to be careful with this one because it won't work so well on this, but maybe on these parts here where it's a bit thicker there it would certainly work. But softens the supports up immensely, and because they're usually a lot thinner than your main part, they'll just come right off, so you don't have to sit there for half an hour cutting all these off. And it works. What's that? That's a Road Ahead magazine. See how hot it is outside, Mum?
Yeah, that's no very hot.
Not hot, oh my gosh. She's just lying. Holy street! Look what Gold Coast looks like. Oh, it's just all white water. So the storm chaser has got a drone up over, looks like he's near Broadbeach. Just south of Broadbeach. He's got a drone over showing an aerial shot. Wow, that's crazy, guys. So there you go. I wish I could show you this front section here. How awesome it looks. It's mostly completed right here, except for the railing along here. Hand painted. Looks amazing. But I don't know if that's wise to show that. Okay. Right. Let me grab this phone here and have a look at some of the comments. Oh, I'm going to call that a day. Oh, how does that look? It's still drying. Does that look more reflective? It's got to dry more. Yeah, still got a long way to go to dry. That's the one with that Mod Podge. Definitely looks more. I'll check that later. I don't know about you guys. It's probably not even half dry, and I reckon that's already looks more shiny. So, looks like I'll be putting Mod Podge on the end of those. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. I think I got enough. Who we got on? Oh, awesome. Bucky's still on. Good on you. I hope you're not staying on here because you think you have to because you're a moderator. How many hours? How many weeks has it been since you left the hospital, Mum?
I don't know.
3 weeks. 4 weeks. I think I started this about 5 weeks ago. 6 weeks. 40, 80, 160. It'd have to be at least 150, 160. It's a whole wood. No, you didn't see the you missed that part, did you? You must have came on afterwards. Let me show you what the hole is. Wait a minute, I've just got one section of the hole. Let me grab another section. Okay, unfortunately I don't have a spare bit of the other one, so I'll have to bring the camera up and show you on the ship shortly. The hole is 3D printed with a filament printer. 8 sections. This is one of the middle sections. This took about 15 hours to print. So you use the software. So you use the software to create, CAD Draw creates the files, transferred it over to an STL file, which is a printable file that your 3D printer can read. Hello Jennifer, and then you, yeah, oh even bigger than this. In fact, there's one in Sunshine Coast that prints caravans. It's that big. And it's the same principle, same printer as this, except this is a lot smaller. This one is build plate 30 centimetre by 30 centimetre by 30 centimetre. I think the one they got at, oh, the Tofty's got those vans. What are they again, guys? Zone caravans. A lot of those vans now are 3D printed. They've got the largest 3D printer in the southern hemisphere there. It's something like, was it a $1.5 million or something? And I think it's 30 meters long, thereabouts. So it's got a huge area it can print. So a lot of the caravans are 3D printed, similar to these composites. So that's 3D printed. Now, the deck, so basically it's a roll of plastic that's 1.75 mils. 1.75 mils thickness, okay, solid plastic, and it goes through a nozzle, and the nozzle heats this particular one to 220 degrees Celsius. But some out there, most of the ones out there, if you want to use in a caravan environment and all that, they tend to, you've got to heat those ones up to about 300. And then it melts at that temperature. And then it just prints it. It just goes around in layers and just prints it up. Now, if you look close, you can actually see, oh, it's hard to tell on this one because this one's actually a pretty good 3D printer. And it's not a dear one. It's a Chinese one, but it's really good quality. Is that going to focus? If you look closely, yeah, you can't really, doesn't really show, does it? But you can see all the individual lines. You can start seeing it a bit there, I think. Okay. So you can see all the lines. All the lines going that way, because this was set up like that. And it just printed and goes round and round and round and up and up and up. So that's the whole, the deck. The deck, there's about 3 levels of deck. 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. Only 3. That's the first 2 of the main ones. On the Bismarck is all timber planks. So I used a timber filament, a plastic filament that's got timber in it, and when you print it, it looks like timber. So how can I show you? This way, not against the light. Do you see the deck?
No, I'm here to lead the bands themselves.
You can't go back any further than that.
On the back edge, I mean, you can
So it looks like a timber deck, doesn't it?
I won't say super self-before, but
That's all 3D printed.
like the wood's about, but mesocyclonic, but shorter, just it's that turning mode of shit. On a tire system, where it's in America, you get them on the leading edge, you'll be out of bounds, which
Yeah. Let me see if I can see the screen, what you're looking at. See? That's a perfect image. Looks like a real timber deck, doesn't it? There you go. It's part of the... I gotta be so careful I don't show something I'm not supposed to. Look at that. Hey? Part of the details on the front that's almost mostly completed. Oh, I was planning on going live online tonight with Terry, but I think I might give it a miss. I am so tired, guys. I don't think I'll have the energy or in the mood to go live again tonight. So there you go. Let's see what other comments. No, not plywood. Looks like plywood. 3D printed timber deck. Amazing, eh? I picked up a roll of that 3D printed resin. A roll's probably got about... Oh, I did try to work it out one day, something like 400 metres on it. And I got it on discount for like $32 or something. A couple of weeks ago it went up to 200. So they must have run out of it, and I noticed the price has gone down to about 42 now. When it was really cheap, I wish I had bought about 2 rolls, but so far I've done two ships There's 1/200 scale and a 1/150 scale. The decks are that printed timber. I've still got more than half of it left. You don't use a real lot. But how awesome does that look?
No, that's below 45 there.
Yeah, 3D printed.
They're 30 metres, 35
There.
Yeah, they were.
Here's whippersnipper cord. It looks like a 1.75mm whippersnipper cord. You know, Buck and Hindsight's probably the same stuff and just charge more for it. Then again, I think a whippersnipper cord, I think is more expensive. Because I buy this stuff in rolls that's about 400 or 500 metres long. How much of 400 or 500 metres of whippersnipper cord would cost?
No, I think I hit 55 metres. Yeah, but they're sitting at. I was like, they're about to crash. Whoops, switch back to camera because
Nice work.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Sweet. Thanks, Mark.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, back to it. So, yeah, so it's, it's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful shot.
Machine gun. Oh, I shouldn't say that, should I? G-U-N. Shit.
I wasn't expecting that, I tell you, but, well, I'm glad I packed it for it.
They do some kayaks that way, wouldn't surprise me.
And just fly. I went, no. I went up.
Let's start printing a new house. Yes, Mark, I remember you did task, Terry did tell me one day that he said someone asked him to print a caravan. I know someone that can print a caravan for you. Tofty! Oh, it's Brett Hooker. Mate, if I ever get a chance, Brett or Tofty, you ever see this? I'd love to check out your 3D printer. He hasn't started a drawbar yet, no. He's still working on the tyres. Now, would you believe you can 3D print tyres as well? That's how far the technology has gone. I can print. Let me go grab one. Let me show you something.
Well, that's because I can actually, yeah, be careful. Okay, we'll pop back out. No, I've got to come back and save the version. This one, so far. This is done.
I'm going to have to open this packet up. I can 3D print this. Yep. Proper rubber tyres. It's a filament called TPU. Very, very difficult to master. But when you can 3D print your own. You can get silver. You can get silver filaments. You don't have to paint. They're done. You get shiny gold ones. And then this goes. You'd be amazed what you can do with 3D printers now. This is another project that I'm working on. How awesome is that? Hey? How freaking awesome. Mind-boggling, eh? So I know you're surprised you can actually print timber, look. You can also print tyres. Yes. Amazing, isn't it? Terry, if you're watching, I think I'm going to be too tired to do a live video tonight. Are you sleeping, Mum?
No.
Everyone says you're sleeping.
What?
Well, they can see you.
Well,
Are you sleeping?
no.
Ah. Oh, yeah, don't bring a D yet on a live fill. We all know what happens there. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame I can't do one. I've got this. Oh man, I've got this awesome one. I've got 2 of them. And it freaking looks unreal. No, we can't talk about those. Well, the chat's been pretty busy. Has everyone been behaved, Buck? They might have to start 3D printing the lithium batteries so they don't catch on fire. That was bad. It's funny you say that. Paul from Paul. He's got a good set of thongs. he's got a it's funny. He's got I don't know how many 3D printers he's got. He's got quite a few, and they basically run 24 hours a day. A lot of his batteries is 3D printed, except for the cells, of course. But then he 3D prints brackets to fit the BMS in, or 3D prints a bracket to make sure the cells are up nice and tight and there's no movement for him to expand or change shape. So he fills any gaps up like that. So yeah, he uses 3D printers for that. But wow. How about that caravan, which I believe is a Zone RV that caught on fire? There are so many mixed reports on where that fire started. I believe the caravan was a year old. So 1 year ago,
Queensland group.
when did the regulations come in effect?
Join as a member and actually complete.
What is it, March?
So you get approved on that. So,
It definitely wasn't November last year, and November the year before that. So November, December, January, February, March, 14, 15, 16. So it's about 15, 16 months ago now. Up until then, I believe generally, well, most caravans Batteries were mounted inside,
and battery
are usually under the bed.
obviously safety first.
But since the new regulations came in, it's 14, 15 months ago in November, the batteries now have to be inside a sealed, airtight container that's vented to the outside. Okay. So you can still mount them under your bed, but they have to be inside a sealed box and has to be vented to the outside, which is very easy to do. Now, if I was to, according to the regulations to law now, I'm perfectly fine where my battery is. Okay, even though it's inside the car, it's a Life PO4, so it's a safe chemistry, and it's Powerpool's best battery that he builds. If I ever took that battery out and changed or put a new battery in, replace it for a new one, or change the layout in any way, then I have to follow the new regulations and put that battery inside a sealed container that's vented to the outside. But because that was installed before the new regulations came in, it is perfectly legal. It can stay like that, but I can't change it. I can't change the layout. I can't move it to one spot. Do that, then you, well, to a certain extent you probably could. Yeah.
Yeah, I say we probably make that call now, so wash my feet up and we'll start.
Oh yeah, the lid has to be secured, yeah. Like, obviously you want a container where you can, you know. Hello Terry, you just got on. You want a container to put the battery in where, you know, obviously you got to have one end open so you can put the battery in. Then usually you can use a Perspex, clear Perspex, and then have a gasket on it, and then just put shitloads of screws on it to make sure it's airtight. So that probably, I don't know if that will pass the regulations or what. Honestly, probably if you want to do it, probably if you want to do, yeah, Terry, they want to know how's that 3D printed caravan for Mark going. Obviously, if you're going to go to the extent and do that, you probably want to make it fireproof, even though Life PO4 is a safe chemistry. Actually, I think it has to be fireproof. I think that's the idea why they do it. But I don't know if it's a strict regulation that you have to use fireproof material. I don't think that's in. Basically, I think all it says is inside a sealed container, so it can vent to the outside. Yeah. A lot of the vans now are starting to install them on the outside of the caravan, which is a great idea. Look at Steve's. It's installed on the outside, so it's not using up any room on the inside. So he's got full access under his beds. It's just all clear for storage.
Yeah, we've got time to the right time to leave, and we'll come back. Quick rest break.
Not mad, Terry, just disappointed. Oh, Terry, Mark, you saw it takes takes 15 hours to print this, and that's with a very fast printer. Most of the printers out there you buy now, you'd probably take 25, 30 hours to print this. Okay guys, let me show you something here quickly. This just arrived. Steve, if you're watching, it's arrived.
Beautiful timing.
Let's turn it around. Thank you. Thank you, Lifetime. What they sent to me. What's in there? It's a lithium battery. Lifetime contacted me because I've already got one of their batteries. After seeing Steve's video on his Lifetime 200 amp hour, and at the time, just after he put that video out, and I bought my camper trailer, it still had 6 years old. It still had the original lead crystal batteries in it, and I don't think they've been looked after. They should have had much longer life, but they were shot. They were shot. So I saw Steve's video, so I had an opportunity to get the same battery. And it's been awesome. I'm going to do a video on it one day soon. Next time I pull it out the shed, it's too hot to do anything like that now outside. It's still 31 degrees at 3:15. Feels like 34. So, yeah. So they contacted me, wanted to know if I want another battery, and they sent this to me for free. So it's their latest 100 amp hour, marine grade, 4-wheel drive grade battery. So it also covers marine environment. What I love about them is their publications. So very important. Lithium iron phosphate Life PO4 battery. Okay, notice it says lithium ion. Okay, notice the report says lithium ion, but someone sent me a message the other day saying that they're the same, they're virtually the same type battery, lithium ion to the Life PO4 battery. In some way, yeah, they're a lithium. Lithium's a lithium, but they're different technology cells in them. So I said, this person mentioned now the lithium ion phosphate Life PO4 batteries, also named lithium ion, but I don't know if this is a misprint because it's a Chinese battery. I noticed it's spelled different. It's not lithium ION, it's lithium ion. It says iron. Phosphate Life PO4 battery. I thought that was funny. You might have a misprint there, guys. Hey? I got you there, didn't I? It's a cracker. So it weighs just over 10 kilos, 100 amp hour. Maximum continuous discharge currents 100 amp hours. Recommended charge current 20, but you can charge it up to 20 amps. Maximum continuous output power 1280 watts. So that's where you got to, if you want to go and buy a 2000 watt Century lithium batteries. I didn't know Century did lithium, but they do. Yeah, they do. Are they Life PO4? Just make sure they're Life PO4. If they're not, Buck, get them out. Especially up there where you live in that hot climate. Holy shit. Does Century make the Life PO4, guys? They are. Yeah, good. All right. As long as they're Life PO4. Yeah, don't want those standard lithium ion ones in your caravan. Especially up there in that heat. Holy man, it'll not be a matter if, it'll only be a matter of when it will burn down, because it will burn down. So your battery, Buck, how old's your van? With the battery, it's probably got the batteries under the bed, because they would have built that before the new regulations come in, unless your van is newer than 15 months old. If it is, then it should be inside a sealed container. But then again, it could have been made 6 months before the person purchased it. So it still come under the old regulations. And believe me, guys, these manufacturers and that, they waited till the last day before they had to employ it's a 2018 yet, before they had to employ the new regulations, right up to the last day. Because of course, it costs more money to now install them. Because now you've got to pay for someone to build the battery box. But here in Bundaberg at Solar and Sat, they include all that. It's quite amazing, and I don't know if a lot of people do realise, because a lot of people drive all the way from around Australia and come here to Bundaberg specifically just to get their 12 volt and solar panel install done in their vehicles. Solar and Sat, guys, are leaders in this field. They really have got something special going here in Bundy. They are, if not probably one of the best installers for your RVs, 4-drives, campers, whatever. They got stuff there that suit any imagination that you would want. Their prices are good. They got very experienced staff, and they do it properly, and they use the good stuff. They are a distributor for Victron gear. So, which is awesome for me. I've got a Victron distributor just down the road, 3K's done from me. Awesome, guys. And if you want to get a proper, full-on, safe setup, professionally done, you take your van or your 4-drive to these guys, and they will look after you while you're in Bundy. And a lot of people do that. I drive there, and some of the vehicles that I see there, it's just amazing. There was a guy there with a semi-trailer, a full-on semi-trailer, getting a big battery system put on with some 2 or 3 kilowatts of solar panel on the roof. And he had the big rock refrigerated trailer thing at the back, and it was all done up into his house. It's freaking amazing. There's people driving around living in the back of semi-trailer. You should see it on the inside, it's like a freaking penthouse. Even the guys installing the setup were just in awe. It's been good to have money. So remember that, 1280. But you can parallel these together. And when you parallel them, you then double the capacity. So then you've got no problems. And I tell you what, with these lifetime ones, you can afford to buy 2, 3 or 4 batteries. I had a look online before. You can buy this battery for about $550. I kid you not, $550. It's got the good Life PO4 batteries. It's got the really good BMS. I don't believe it's Bluetooth. I do not think you can connect the Bluetooth to it. I don't know. I haven't even looked at that. I haven't even taken it out the box yet because I want to do an unboxing video. Even though I have opened the top up. But it's the first time just taking all these publications out. So, yeah. So you can get 2 of them for just over $1,000 at the moment. And you've got 200 watts continuous. Where can you buy a lithium Life PO4 with 5-year warranty that's got continuous 200 watts you can draw out of it for $1,000? Don't know. Good value. And I've had one in a camper trailer for about about 9 or 10 months. They work flawlessly, no problems at all.
The answer is no.
So I haven't had any problems with it thus far. And look at these publications that come with it. So I will go over that when I do the review video, the unboxing. Hey Siri, turn kitchen light on to 100% bright.
Sorry, Philip. I couldn't find that in your home.
Are you kidding? Hey Siri, turn kitchen light on. Ah, there it goes. Hey Siri, what is the air conditioner temp set to?
The Sensibo AC controller is cooling to 24 degrees Celsius.
Hey Siri, lock front door.
Locking doors.
Locked. Hey, lock. You know me with technology, mate. I don't muck around. I don't get up off the chair anymore to turn the lights on or turn the aircon on, or if I want to change the aircon temperature, I just tell Siri to put the aircon to such and such temperature. I can change the lights to different colours. Hey Siri, change kitchen light to blue. Hey Siri, change kitchen light to red. Hey Siri, change kitchen light to blue.
Oh, come on, Philip. Don't be stupid.
Hey Siri, change kitchen light to orange.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, change kitchen light to 100% bright white.
None of your accessories can do that.
Hey Siri, change kitchen light to bright. Change kitchen light to natural light. I need to change it on an orange colour. Don't worry if you think you can call Siri out and tell it to do things. It only recognises my voice at this stage. Because Terry's already tried it. Yeah.
Not much sleep.
How does this thing look with that glue that was that Mod Podge gloss?
Guess what? They've got-
It's
they've
definitely
got-
more shiny.
at the moment.
Does that look more shiny
First bathroom second.
with the Mod Podge gloss on it than this one?
But they look close. No, they're close. Okay.
Does it make any difference?
It could have switched that thing off.
What are you going to get, Terry?
Can't go first. 3.9k south is 4 gas stations to choose from. It's worth it.
That's definitely a lot more brighter, more glossy. Yeah, it is. Oh, I think it needs to be, depends what angle you put it on. I don't know. It's a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough to warrant actually painting it, because that's fairly glossy already, that colour. So leave it dry overnight. Now I've still got all these other weaponry here. Silly me. I'm making all these weaponries. And the guns are separate on it. So these attach over here. Not realising the time when I first started making these, it won't even fit in. So it needs a lot of trimming and that to do on that. So hopefully I won't need to use any of these.
One here, but it's getting there. That's the first.
They're supposed to go in there. Not realising that you can actually make them all in one part and just have it fitted as one, which is what I've done. Which is what we've done on these ones. What's this Storm Chaser up to? Where's he going, Mum? Where's he going?
What?
Storm Chaser.
There's 7 in this area alone, just where we're going to at the moment, so we'll find it quickly.
Then everyone's gonna be hunting and there's gonna be
Can't believe how much people are driving around the Gold Coast. It's not on the highway.
The gas station was starting at 7 o'clock to close down soon.
There's one of those American Storm Chasers. It's flown over here to Australia and covering the cyclone, and he's at Gold Coast. Where is he? Oh, I think he's heading up north. He's on the Gold Coast Highway, isn't he? Yeah, I think he's gone a bit further up north.
We'll know very quickly if it looks to be up.
Oh, apparently there's one section here that might be under water already. He's at Rabina. Alright, just pulled over. There might be some houses already underwater, maybe. We can camp for about 6 days with LED lights and a 50 litre fridge freezer on one charge. Is that with a 100 amp hour battery?
Yeah, something tells me that there's gonna be,
Up the, which type of batteries are you talking about? 75 amp hour. Oh, Giant Life PO4, my camper 3 years ago. Very pleased with its performance so far. Yeah, I tell you what, geez. They're cheap, those King's batteries. I was just reading about someone putting a 200 amp hour in the battery, and I didn't realise it was Terry's post. This is where I didn't start saying, what's this idiot talking about? Terry did a really good job with that install. I'm very impressed. Torpedo launchers. That's yet to go on the Bismarck. They actually had torpedo launchers. You know, these storm chasers film everything. This guy obviously makes a living out of it, and it's something like, I don't know, what's he got, 1,000 people watching or something? How many's he got watching? I came across his channel yesterday. Oh, he's gone to the 7-Eleven. He films everything. 1,000 people can't be watching. And it's in real good quality. He uses a Canon R7. He's a professional storm chaser. And it's so funny. He films everything. He goes to the toilet, he films it. Literally. Not quite, but might as well. He's filmed just about everything else. Gone to KFC through the drive-through, talking to the chick there, chatting her up and filming that. That was a laugh. He's a funny guy, he's a nice bloke. So, everywhere he goes. And it's funny, he's a real good photographer, I can see that. I see him working. Got a really good eye for composition and that, which you need to have when you're in that industry. And he's very good at it. So he sits there, does the footage, takes photos, and then he uploads it to the, I don't know where, all the news channels and all that. And he, of course he gets paid for that, as well as, you know, he's got 1,000 people watching him live, and he started at 12 o'clock, and I think that's the least amount he had, and he'll probably go nearly all night. So, yeah, and then he's got all these videos he does, he edits later on, like tornadoes and stuff like that. So he's very experienced at it, and he gets right in amongst the action and films it all. It was probably thinking it was going to be a lot worse today than what it is, because looking at that, there's hardly any wind blowing at all. The cyclone's supposed to be hitting the coast overnight. There's a lot of trees down, sits on the Gold Coast Highway. There's a lot of trees down, but they're all been cleared.
So my suggestion, head back to the hotel, only 16Ks from the hotel, freshen up, come back out, might get through along the way. How's that sound?
They're going back to the hotel. He just said they're going back to the hotel to freshen up. They'll probably turn the camera off then. So he's constantly live streaming all the time. And it's funny because I was watching the news last night, and he's some of his photos I saw him editing. He's showing him taking them and showing him editing was on the news, same as the footage. But not just that. Interestingly, one of the Channel 9 reporters that was out at Snapper Rocks rocked up while he was there, and he knew the reporter lady and the cameraman, and just now, not saying that the news media have well, they do. In this case, probably would totally 100% warrant how they have maybe over-exaggerated this Category 2, which looks like it'll be a Category 1 when it probably hits. He filmed everything there. They rocked up, the Channel 9 I was watching, and they rocked up, and they didn't start, they just filmed the short segment, so obviously she didn't go live, and they waited until something happened, until there was something interesting in the background, like a huge wave, or some kids go down onto the beach and muck around, you know, on the foreshore or something like that. So they sat there and waited till something happens. Like, they were there for a while, and eventually this humongous big wave came, and as soon as they noticed it, bang. And he's sitting there behind the cameraman filming this all live, and I'm watching it. And they said, right, now's the time, and she went and did a report that went for about, 20 seconds, just as this whopping big wave came up, and they were there for quite a long time. So it shows that it's not as bad as what is shown on TV. They had to wait quite a while before they show the worst of it. But I suppose that's a job. That's what they do. They get more money, and they, you know, that's it. So, yeah. Flooding to the right already, she's saying.
Yeah, so we're a lot of areas. That's buses all from it.
I think he was expecting it to be a lot worse than what it is right now. Honestly, yesterday, the conditions were worse yesterday than they are today, what I'm looking at now. But you guys further down south, the Gold Coast are copping it. I saw that on the news. It's pretty bad down that way.
I don't think the water's on the side of the road, yes, on that as well.
So it's a wonder he doesn't jump in the car and head down Coffs Tweed Heads, or even down Byron Bay. So he's still hanging around Gold Coast.
Place called Mermaid Waters.
He's heading to Mermaid Waters. So, mate, he must be thinking something bad's going to happen there if he's still hanging around there.
What are you gonna cook for dinner? To take a longer time?
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to have to cook. I got some chicken schnitzels and
Well, you better start a cook.
yeah, guys, I'm going to have to call it quits. I'll have to start cooking.
Start a cook.
61, 21, 80. Oh, just on 3 hours.
Yeah, I know, it's probably school zone cameras on it.
You guys are having a good chat. You want me to stay on
Yeah,
a bit longer while I cook?
yeah.
And my mum says, yeah. I don't think she knows what I'm talking about.
Alright, actually, please start.
Let's see if this is starting drying a bit more.
Go a little bit.
It's still a little bit tacky, but I think it's mostly dry. You know, under certain angle of the light, it's definitely more reflective. But, is there enough difference?
Take that power to the gas station up ahead. That's the other feed lines.
You look at it, these, I don't know, you've got to get the right angle of the light. You guys are facing the wrong way, I suppose. This one here has got the Mod Podge on it. And this one here has just got that glossy paint. There's really not much difference there, is there? But if I look through this way, like that, angle that is definitely more glowing, but I don't know if it stands out enough. If I sit that over here, I sit that there. So that don't look really any much difference to me than the other one. Because it's already a glossy colour. Okay.
Shut up, cook.
I'm gonna have to go now. Gotta go put this. Oh, that's fine, Terry. I wasn't planning on going live tonight. I've done all the live videos today. I'm tired.
So we're waiting for the main lines and just watch out for
Hey, Luke, you're still on. Woohoo, cool. Finally nailed the G and G7 chords after 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're progressing well. I used to play classical. I was a very good classical guitarist. We got a very musical family. One of my nieces is in the Queensland Symphony Orchestra, and she's travelled the world playing violin. My other niece was a highly trained pianist, and my nephew was a highly trained pianist and a trombonist. Trombone. And he played for the orchestra that's based in South Bank. I don't know what they're called. And I played a finger-picking style classical guitar. Got this part that I made. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. Whether it's going to fit anywhere on here. I think where it's supposed to go doesn't quite fit. I need to drill that hole out a little bit wider. Oh, hang on, it's got something stuck in here. I thought sure it's beginning to think. I'm sure that hole's bigger than that. There it is. Bingo. Ah, doesn't fit there. I've got no idea where that part goes. I've got no idea. I'll have to go through my parts and reference photos and see why the hell I printed that one. Okay guys, I'm going to go now. So I'll catch you all next time, eh? Get off and cook mum tea. Yep, they're telling me to get off and start cooking. That's what I'm going to do. 60, 120, 180. So I hit the 3-hour mark. Good stuff. Alright guys, till next time, eh? Shall see yous. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Next time I have another stint. I'm working on this. Do another live video. You can watch me. I think I'm getting down to almost the finishing touches to this. I think the crane's going to take me a while. Basically, I just need to glue these guns in place, find out where all these guns go, glue them in place to see if I need to make any more. I've got to go to Spotlight and get those brass tubings to increase the strength of these antenna things on these. And I've got to get some wiring too for that I'm going to use for that. So yeah, wouldn't mind start tackling those. But probably next thing, because I've got so many parts, loose parts just sitting at the top here. They need to be glued down so I don't lose them. So I might... No worries, Terry. I'll talk to you later tonight. So I need to glue them down. That'll be the next step. And then that bridge, sort that bridge out. And then get that main antenna in. The rudders need to be glued in place, the 2 rudders. And the hole is basically completed. And I've got to find what I'm going to do with that damn fence paling. The paling that goes around here. I might have to design my own. So till then, eh? Cheers. See you next time. Yep. You tell me, Luke. See yous all. Bye. End.